What's up, YouTube? Today I have an amazing guest. I have Jill with me. Jill is a pleasure, Portuguese friend.
Thank you very
so
much.
I would love if you can share some words with my viewers. Do a quick presentation because I have 5 great questions for you, and I think my viewers will enjoy them quite a lot.
Okay, Andre. So first of all, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I know
No,
that
my pleasure.
many, many collectors, even famous collectors from US have been here. So my name is Jill. I have a YouTube channel. The name is Canal Cromo. That translated means sticker channel.
Yeah,
That I started in 2016. The main goal of my channel is like to try to influence the kids in Portugal to collect because
Jill
um,
is I believe is the biggest channel in Portugal on that topic, right?
well, yes, is a very niche specific market. I think there is only two channels, but yeah, I'm really happy with the feedback that I have for the last almost 7 years, almost 1,000 videos on YouTube. It's mostly focused
Amazing.
for the juvenile people, but I have also grown-ups following the channel. Um, I have the profile of the European collector. I collect mostly football albums, and my goal is to achieve the complete album. But I also have like this profile of to have my personal collection cards.
Oh, that's great. I'm not sure if I told you this or not, but I knew your channel even before me being into soccer cards that much.
Oh,
Even when I
I
was did,
you
did
haven't you haven't told me that.
I believe I saw your channel because of some World Cup album or something like that. I don't remember that well, but when I saw you on Instagram and when we started talking, I thought, oh, I actually know this
No, this guy. Yeah,
this
maybe
guy.
because I remember before the World Cup 2018, I made like let's say like a feedback from all of the World Cup albums that I have. I have every World Cup from 82 till today.
Okay,
I'm missing the 78, 74, and of course the holy grail of World Cups, the Mexico 70.
the first one, yeah.
Um, yeah, that is the here in Europe. It's the holy grail. It's really hard to find.
No, for sure. So I have 5 questions for you, like as you know, and I will start with the number one. Instead of going like quick thoughts, this time we go one by one,
Okay.
and I think should be also a lot of fun. So let's start with the number one. As a European collector, what is the biggest change in the market you have been seen in the last 3 years? Like I said, we are both from Portugal. This is even a
Yeah.
bit weird that we are both speaking English instead of the best language in the world. But yeah, in the last 3 years, what you've been changing in Europe, in Portugal?
Well, I will try to be. I will try to not speak a lot about this subject, but I'll try to be, let's say, clear. So when I came back to the hobby was in 2015, 2016, and at 2016 there was not the awareness with the stickers that we saw happening on 2018, 2019. Like for example, many people 2018, 2019 realize that they have like the holy grail of the stickers. That for me is the holy grail of stickers. That is Cristiano Ronaldo 02, 03. And I think right now that people, for example, I went yesterday to the stickers swap event, and you could see that the kids, they are like looking for the extra stickers, like these really let's say most valuable stickers that we have now in the World Cup 2022.
Sure.
And they are looking for Mbappe's, they are looking for Neymar, they're looking for Cristiano, Messi. And when we were kids, or even like 10 years ago, we were like, okay, let's swap one per one. And there was no, let's say, rarity on this kind of stickers. So right now, everyone is like trying to find the next Cristiano, the next
Mhm.
Messi. I can give you like many examples. Even for me, Haaland and Mbappe are not examples anymore, because for me they are already consolidated on
Yeah.
the soccer market. But for example, every year on the Portuguese league, there is like one player that can get some recognition from the football collectors.
Look at
But
Darwin, for example.
exactly, Darwin. But people, for me, in my opinion, they must think that 2021 is not 2002.
Yeah.
There is millions and millions of stickers of Darwin. Of course, it's nice to have a Darwin sticker, but honestly, I don't believe on a long term that
No,
a
I agree.
sticker from Darwin will have a lot of value, because there is millions of stickers, and I think there is not enough demand for those millions of stickers.
No,
So when you
I agree
yeah,
totally with you on that.
because it's how the market works, is demand versus offer, or
Yeah.
offer versus demand.
You know, I totally agree. Even that Darwin sticker is a very good example of that. Because when Darwin started playing very well for Benfica, then going for Liverpool, I saw some people buying PSA 10s, PSA 9s. And I was saying, I think that's honestly a bad idea. I think if you want to invest in Darwin, but this logic applies in general nowadays. I think you need to target numbered cards.
Yeah.
Base product is just there is too much. For example, I'm not sure if I actually told this story on my channel or not, but when Darwin was playing in Benfica, I bought a pizza from Telepizza, and they gave me a couple of packs, and I got Darwin there. So you can
Okay.
see how spread this type of stuff is.
Yeah.
Everyone that collected that set can potentially have a Darwin in their ROMs. It's just like you said, millions and millions and millions.
And
Right?
just another example is that usually I use a platform to swap stickers, that is Last Sticker, and you can see how many people are offering and then how
Yeah.
many people are demanding, and you can see like okay, because not everyone is in this platform, but you can see hundreds and hundreds of Darwins there, and sometimes you can see some profiles on Instagram showing 50 Darwins, so you can see that it's not that rare.
No, I agree.
Uh,
The Cristiano Ronaldo 2002, I actually believe he's the most important Panini sticker ever. Probably is a hot take, but I really believe it. I think the este for Messi is close, but Ronaldo have less rookies, so for me makes the sticker a bit special.
Exactly, and that's another thing, because right now I'm going to give you an example. Not that I hold all of his rookies, but I really like Gavi. But which is his most valuable rookie? Because there is Gavi from Mega Cracks, the one that came in a
Yeah.
magazine in Spain. There is Gavi Prism. There is Gavi Select. There is Gavi World Cup Prism Rookie. You know what I mean? Maybe there is more than 10 Gavi rookies, but
No,
Ronaldo, there is no debate. There is the rookie sticker and the rookie card. That's it.
no players like Gavi, Bellingham, they have stupid amount even from their country. You know, Spain, they have a stupid amount of rookies. If you put the American product plus the American product, it
Mm,
just gets too insane, honestly.
and then going to those players, maybe the collectors will go after to the product that they most believe. I don't know. Maybe I'm not into that much in the hobby in the US, but I think it's Prism, the one that the
Prism,
people are.
Top Scrum,
Yeah,
probably the two strongest brand. I would say Top Scrum maybe even bigger than Prism now,
mm-hmm.
just because Prism does not release that often, you know.
Yeah,
So, but again, is a relative topic, because some people will say, "Oh, I like Sapphire more," for example.
exactly.
So it gets a little bit tricky. But I would say the Top Scrum brand in general nowadays is actually quite powerful on.
Yeah,
Even products like Merlin, they do quite well, honestly. So no, yeah. So just to finalize the thoughts on this
yeah,
question. So basically, awareness, right? You think the
yeah.
awareness is quite different.
Much more awareness. And in Portugal, I think we are in a very embryonic phase. But if you go to countries as UK, Germany, Italy, people are much more aware there. I think the hobby is growing really fast in Germany and UK. As,
Yeah.
as we have discussed even before, there is already the shows in
Big shows.
Munich, in London card show. So you can see that the awareness is growing, and I think it won't stop.
No, I agree with that. I also think that nowadays, even in Portugal, so I may slightly disagree with you on one thing. When I talk with my friends, okay, of course I collect and they know, but they, even friends of my friends, they are aware of the Cristiano Ronaldo hook, because there was news, there was a lot of
Yeah.
articles. So that's not, at least the Ronaldo, of course, if you start talking about, let's say, Cruyff, Palirex, they do not know that
Mhm.
probably. But if you start talking about Ronaldo rookies, I think everyone around our age is probably
Uh,
saw some news.
yeah, because they were because sometimes on Instagram, I receive some text, and they say, I saw you talking about because I got like an episode on YouTube that I had a friend of mine that is Vasco Esteves, and we were talking about Ronaldo, and many people saw that video, and they are still keep seeing that video because it's I would say timeless, intemporal video. You can see today and 1 year from now, and it will have the same value. And I have a Cristiano Ronaldo card. What should I do? And at least those two of those, I try to make like I try to negotiate a price. But I said, listen, if you don't want to sell for this amount, what I advise you, it's to grade the cards and to sell it. And I can say two of those people, I redirect to our good friend Paulo Silva, and they managed to grade the card and to sell the card for a good amount of money. So you
Yeah, for
can see
sure.
maybe our generation, I would say like 30s, on the 30s, they collect that album, that Mega Cracks cards, and they, yeah, the awareness is growing at least around that Cristiano Ronaldo card.
So guys, just a quick pause on the video. Hope you are enjoying this talk with Jill, and if that's the case, do not forget to leave a like. Means a lot to me, very easy for you. Now let's talk about my Patreon community, growing quite fast, and you need to be there if you want to have access to all the content. Apart from that, you also support the channel. I put more content there nowadays than I probably put on YouTube. I put a new Q&A every Wednesday and the extra audio on Saturday. I'm also thinking about adding more content, for example, the pwcc weekly review/preview. Again, if you join right now, you have access to more than 70 videos plus a bunch of extra audios, and if you like my content on YouTube, like I tend to say, you probably love my content there. You can see an example of a Q&A I did there, and I'm talking about Messi rookies potentially pop report in 2026, market bottom, talking about soccer of course, Xavi rookie material, what I think are the best options versus the worst, set collecting, and other topics related with the finance side of the market. Link will be below the video. You can also scan the QR code if you want to check my Patreon, and I hope to see you there. Let's say $10, because that's what you need to pay for Patreon, is a lot of money to you. If that's the case, don't feel pressure to join the Patreon. There is always free content, but one thing that is totally free is actually my Discord community. We are more than 800 members, and we are growing every day. Again, thank you so much if you are part of the community there. If you are not part, you need to join. It's an amazing place to interact with me. It's an amazing place to learn and share. Link will also be below the video. So yeah, there is zero reason to not join the Discord. Check both links. You can scan the QR code, or if you don't want to do that, links are below the video /description. Now let's continue with the podcast, and I hope you have fun. Oh yeah, for sure. And sometimes I see some people saying that Europeans, they are trying to sell as soon as they can. But I also think it's important to put in perspective that if you can sell, let's say, Cristiano Ronaldo for 10K, in Portugal, that's a lot of money. There is
Yeah.
no way around that. And so sometimes people have to put in perspective that a lot of these amounts of money, they can change the life of certain people
Yeah,
for the
of course.
best. So Americans, not saying that 10K is also a lot of money in America, but I think the culture is different. They look at
Yeah.
cards more like an asset. that's the mentality that Portugal is quite behind. I would say Europe in general is quite behind on this mentality. But look, Portugal in Europe is one of the countries that probably in terms of salary gets the least. So of course, of course, getting 10K for one car, that's crazy for certain people. So I'm just saying this because I think sometimes, especially Americans, they do not understand how life changing 10K, 5K can be for a person. So, but yeah, great answer, my friend. So moving on to the question number 2. Second, I'm sorry. I saw you saying that digital collectibles are the biggest problem to keep Panini albums alive. I was watching a live that you did with the other content creator in Portugal. And you end up saying that you think that the digital collectibles, probably around NFTs, etc., they can actually be a threat for Panini albums alive. Do you think this also can affect the graded market, or do you think it's more for the raw stuff?
Honestly, when I gave this, let's say when I was talking with this other Portuguese creator content,
this was months ago. This was months
yeah,
ago.
it was a month ago, and I changed a bit my mind. And it's not because of everything is now on the crypto, the NFTs, but we were also discussing that I think that a digital asset, not every digital asset, but in the terms of collecting, I think will never arrive to the collector. Because, for example, if I have here, if someone shows me, do you prefer to have a Cristiano Ronaldo card or digital? Come on, I prefer to touch the.
Congrats, by the way. That's a beautiful card.
The Cristiano Ronaldo card.
One of the most important cards in our market, in my opinion.
Exactly. Now, one thing that I think that it can be important, but this is already getting out a bit of the subject. For example, you hold the Cristiano Ronaldo cards, and you want an NFT to prove that this card is yours.
Yeah.
I think that will be important, but have like a NFT to show, just to have like a card on your computer, and then I want to see my card. You come to the computer and you see your card. Okay, it's there, but it doesn't have the same feeling, you know. I want to go to my disposal to see my display cards, to enjoy the beauty of the cards there, not on the computer, not on the screen. So I do believe that NFTs they have the place in a hobby, but not like the people are like projecting now. I think that if you have the card like graded 10 PSA 10, and then, for example, if your card gets stolen, you know that this card is yours. You know.
No, I understand. There is probably something that can be done with NFTs to even help the collectible space.
Exactly.
I agree with that at all. But the thing that, of course, now is a bit easier to talk, right? In the sense that things are so down, especially on the crypto world, at NFTs, etc. But even at the time, and people on my channel know, I was a bit critical of NFTs in the sense that people try to put you this idea that touching your cards is not important, and that's such BS in my opinion, because
it is
important. I mean, it's so amazing to. I collect, for example, a lot of albums for Panini Portuguese League, World Cup, Euros, etc. And I like to see the players. Of course, I can have an NFT that also does that. But for me, you know, I don't know. Even there is something social about that. When you have a friend at your home, it's a bit different than you show your collectible on the screen.
Exactly.
You handle your collectible to him, and I honestly think a lot of people in the NFT space are realizing.
Honestly, even feels strange that if you invite a friend to your place and come to my computer and I will show you something, it doesn't sound as good.
I always say this. Look, I'm a bit too old sometimes, you know, for this NFT talk. So for example, I have a younger brother that probably understands this more than me. And maybe there is some generation barrier there, you know, that I still like the physical stuff, etc. But I also believe that some people end up pushing an idea about NFTs that was a bit too bullish, you know, that, okay, they probably have a space in the collectible world, but they
do.
will not be the biggest thing in the collectible world. At least short, mid term, or even could be 5-6 years. It's difficult to imagine that. Again, who knows? But I really think that. But I also agree with you. Okay, that if there is something then with NFTs, then can be an extra for a collectible.
Exactly.
Sometimes not even the collectible itself, but an extra for the collectible that, you know what, PSA grades my card, now gives me NFT that gives me some type of insurance or something like that. There is, of course, space for that.
I'm not sure now, but I believe that on Panini America site, you can buy cards, Panini NFTs, and then you can have the cards printed. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
I think
it's possible, yeah.
they can do this. I'm saying this, but I'm not completely sure. Well, that's a good way, but again, so you are buying NFT to have it printed. So you are telling me that you are believing in NFTs, not you, but like the person who buys NFTs, but then you got them printed. So again, this person is like agreeing with our perspective that to have the card printed or to have like the card physical is more important than to have on an NFT.
No, the narrative around NFTs had a lot of flaws in the sense that but you don't need to worry about condition rarity, about centering. Well, that's true, but that's why cards are amazing. Is because you want to get the best copies. Is because you want to, you know what? You have a 9, I have a 10. That puts me a bit ahead in terms of my collection goals. I think that's amazing. If everything is perfect, and apart from that, is also I have a video on the channel with this title, "Never Meant to Be." I think that's also important.
I saw that one. I saw that one. That usually the cards that were not made to have value became the ones that with more value.
So I'm not sure if you are aware of Black Lotus in Magic the Gathering. Is basically the most expensive card.
Because my brother-in-law has a funny story with this. He's all the time telling me. So yeah, I'm aware of Black Lotus.
But just to finalize, they made a new one, a reprinted one that would be serial number, I believe. But the community is hating that. It's not the same thing that you get the Black Lotus in 2022 versus getting in 93 one. You know, the history is so strong there. That card surviving. The company was not the company we know today. Talking about Wizards of the Coast, there is something beautiful about that more people are realizing now than ever. I really believe in this. Even in soccer, look, I collect some modern, and I believe certain sets in modern will become historical sets like Chrome 2017, the Prism, of course, maybe Flawless. So there is, of course, certain sets that even in modern that I believe can have a future. But you look nowadays, Sapphire, Top Scrum, Top Stadium, Merlin Heritage, Chronicles. It's just too much. Even if you have a numbered card, gets a bit tricky to be honest. Too much, think about that card that you showed me, the Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not numbered, but that does not matter. It's the first collectible, talking about cards, of course, for Cristiano Ronaldo. If you are an American collector, because I have a lot of viewers from America, of course, imagine it's so special that you have a card that was open most likely for a kid in Portugal that survived. If you have a 7, it's a nice grade. If you have a 9, it's also a nice grade. Yeah. There is something beautiful about that. So, yeah.
Definitely. I totally agree with you at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But again, this question, I saw you doing I'll say an interview. Yeah. But this was months ago, so even my perspective also ended up changing.
I changed my mind.
and that's normal. If you change your mind, is a sign of intelligence, to be honest. So moving on to the question number 3. This is an interesting one. If you could share with fanatics one idea to make the market grow in Europe, what that idea would be?
Well, sorry. So my idea will be to, if I have the opportunity to sit on a table and talk with fanatics, I would say that a good idea it will be to create like let's say in Europe we say premium collection to the ones that they are released in America, but they start getting released also in UK, Germany, even Italy. Last year we had the example, it was the Panini Score, that maybe for the Americans are, let's say it's a low standard comparing with Top Scrum, Prism, but
Well,
for us
yeah,
here in Europe will be like, let's say, an important step. We'll say like a baby step to start
good.
like growing this kind of market. For example, here in Portugal, because our national league, every year we give some raw talent to the Premier League, to the Italian Serie A, to Spanish La Liga. So, and I think it will be really important to start like slowly to insert these products in Portugal and even in other countries like
Of
France,
course.
that you have many teams. Because if you compare, of course, the leagues, Portuguese and French, people usually they forget about something. We have Benfica, Porto, and Sporting, that they have the big three. But then, for example, in France, you don't have only PSG in terms of greatness of the club.
Fan
You have
base.
fan base. Marseille, even if he's now in the second division, Saint Etienne, Bordeaux. I believe that these
Lyon.
products, Lyon, Lille, I believe that these products will have a big acceptance, uh, not only in Portugal but also in France. And I hope next year, this season actually, they will release also in Italy, because it was a huge success in Italy. Because as you may know, I lived in Italy for almost 10 years, so I'm in many groups on Facebook of Italian collectors, and people they were really like crazy after these products of Score, because they were selling it on I don't know the term, the words. I say the like uh, the newspaper stands.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
They were selling Score on the newspaper stands, and
yeah,
this
yeah.
is amazing. This is
No,
amazing.
that's amazing, of course, because it's
They
available to everyone, basically.
Yeah, because okay, the hobby box they were selling it exclusively online, but the blasters and the individual packs they could buy on newspaper stands. And this is like a huge step into, like, let's say, modern. And like this you can uh, keep the adults in a hobby. You can have the stickers for the adults and also for the kids. And I think it's really important that the hobby here in Europe is not only for the kids, it
I
must
agree.
be also for the grown-ups,
No, I
for
agree.
every public.
I, if I was trying to answer this question, probably will be similar to yours. I think giving product to Europeans is important. I also believe there is a education phase that needs to happen. Because if they put Prism for 1K, that will be difficult to sell in
Yeah,
certain countries. So
exactly.
starting with Score can make a lot of sense. But I also think that if PSA opens in Europe,
Ooh,
starting to
that's
educate, but this is very everything is related at the end of the day. That
yeah, yeah, yeah.
education from Tops, from Panini, education from PSA, maybe Beckett also opens, who knows. So look,
That would be great.
education, this is a boring quote, but education is the solution for everything in life. And in cards is no different. If you educate the market, I
Exactly.
believe more people will start entering the market, realize that, okay, I'm paying, let's say, $500 for this box, but if I keep this sealed, can, because sealed product is also a huge thing, can
Yeah,
potentially increase in value. If I'm a collector, if I'm trying to chase certain cards, I know I'm gambling a bit, but there is also a scenario that can actually make money. And also, of course, modern product. Look, you and me know this. Of course, we like to collect stickers, cards, but I mean, I'm also not blind. I understand that Top Chrome is a beautiful product, much better
hmm,
than the stickers. We need to be realistic about this. So
yeah,
again, I think Europeans they will be open to have all of this new product entering the market. But I also believe education is very important. They need to go step by step.
yeah. But now that you talk about education, I think that is also the problem of the country because, as we spoke before, the two countries that are, like, say, growing faster in Europe is Germany and UK, and it's not like a coincidence. Those two countries are, like, let's say, the biggest countries in Europe, like not biggest in terms of people, but the biggest in terms of economy.
Yeah.
So I do believe that there is like education in a school, like the kids are well thought about the how it works, the finances, the economy. So of course they have like a different mentality regarding everything.
Yeah, no,
And in
I agree.
Portugal, there is a lack of financial education.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, people will never understand if nothing is will change. Invest in whatever, in gold, in cards, in crypto, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, for sure. I agree with that totally. It's an interesting topic, but I think we
Yeah,
are going in the right direction. You know,
yeah,
look, if you compare the market now versus 2 years ago, it's already so different that
yeah, definitely.
you can imagine how, how big will it be in 5 years, 10 years. I mean, I actually believe it's difficult to imagine in the sense that
Mhm.
maybe I'm too bullish on this, but even my best prediction, I believe, will be a bit short because, look, I know right now the market is a bit down. Again, it's across the board, crypto, real estate, everything is down right now. The Wall Street, everything is down. But markets are about cycles, So I talk about this on my channel. I collected Magic for 20 years. I saw similar markets to this one, in the sense that people are saying, nah, Magic is dying. This will not be a thing anymore. You should sell. And a lot of people sold. They now regret. That's the reality. Of course, look, next year probably will be bad, but maybe 5 years will be good, So people need to be patient. And of
Of
course,
course.
for example, the reason I stayed with Magic for 20 years was not because I thought I would make crazy amounts of money. I had that feeling also, but I was a collector. I really, really enjoyed collecting that stuff. So for me, that was a plus in my life. Not even if cards are going down, I still have a plus. That's my
And
the time I spent collecting.
now you touch like a really, for me, a really important point is that because every day here in Portugal, and I believe also in US, so US of course, thousands and thousands every day there is a new investors in the hobby. But I think that the really important thing, of course, is not mandatory because you can have like this profile of investor and study everything. But if you don't enjoy
Yeah.
the sport itself, the football, the soccer, I think people will get tired and they will leave the hobby like this. You enter, like I said, you enter at 10, but you leave at 100 kilometers per hour because
Oh
if
yeah.
you don't enjoy, you will never be fulfilled. Like, for example, if you start to get demotivated because you bought the box and you want to flip the box, or you want to flip the card, but then you got in the moment that the market is down. I think you need to enjoy. For example, you know that I bought this card, but I bought it for my personal collection. But I know that one day, for sure, and I'm really 100% confident about this. This card, together maybe with the Messi, the one from Ajax, will be like they're already the holy grails, but they will have much more value that they hold right now. And I even
I
believe
also
more.
believe in that. Yeah.
I believe even more in Cristiano because I believe that Cristiano, and this is important. People may not think that it's not important, but I believe that Cristiano will keep an active life socially after his
Yeah.
retirement, and I believe that this is important also for the collectors because let's say because for me the Cristiano is like is a superstar. He's not only football superstar. Is the most followed person on Instagram, 500 million people.
No, yeah,
So
he's a giant
so
star for sure.
imagine to hold like the first ever car that back in 2002 that no one ever imagined that this boy will be like the most followed person on Instagram, one of the best football players ever to be on the pitch. So I do believe that this card and Messi will growing his value, especially Cristiano, in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing about that card and also the sticker is Messi have, I believe, 7 rookies plus some variations on the rookies. Messi have, not Messi, Cristiano have 2. So that alone makes the Cristiano Ronaldo market very interesting because for Messi, let's say you cannot afford 7 on these, but you probably can buy the Mega Cracks Campione, you know. So with Ronaldo, it gets a bit more difficult to be honest. But I know you have the card, but I also love the sticker a lot. I think the sticker is.
I believe I had some doubles when I was a kid, but as you said, these things had no were not made to have value in a long term. So I was like 13 when I was collecting. So of course you'll need like to have like these premonitions that this player will be great player in the future. Maybe everyone had.
I also remember opening the 2002, 2003 Panini football. Is crazy. That's why I know the market do not agree with me. That's the grail for Ronaldo, but I personally put the sticker as the number 1 rookie for Ronaldo.
I do understand, because to find a sticker with the edges, because you know the sticker is much more easy to fold and to, let's say, to damage than than a card. And I haven't seen the pop report of stickers, the 10s, but I believe they are much more low than the cards.
I believe so. And even pop total, but this is, even pop looking at, sometimes pop reports are a bit tricky because in soccer we are still in a discover phase. But
exactly.
But this is my feeling. I believe the sticker is a bit more rare than the card. I don't have a good explanation why, apart from me interacting with other collectors, me seeing the product online. I feel like I see 2 cards for 1 sticker. You know, it's just but I also understand that the card in general is a better product, and it's probably the most iconic thing, especially, again, we talk about the American market, but it's important. That's the reality. They really like that card, and I also love that card. That's one of the grails, but I think the sticker should be at least a bit closer because he's also so special for and I love the photo on the sticker, you know, just Ronaldo very
it's basically the back of
basically the back,
back of the card.
No, it's the actual. I love both, but I'm just saying the sticker because I feel like sometimes people just focus too much on the card, but both are amazing collectibles. So moving on to the question number 4. And the question number 4 is also an interesting one, in my opinion. So Match Attax / Adrenaline and similar products have entered the more American way of making cards. Even Mega Cracks in Spain, for example, is now have autos and stuff like that. So you have cards with serial numbers, auto, patches, etc. Do you think this is a good way to introduce Europeans to the market?
Yeah. For me, it's great. And I'm going to give you like what happened here in Europe. You probably know, but here in Portugal, when this season we got parallel and number stickers on the Champions League stickers. For example, let me show you. Yeah, I got one here. For example, here. Oh, I have Mbappe parallel sticker from Champions League, and people were complaining that there were parallel stickers and number stickers on the Champions League. So for me, honestly, it's not important that we have this, because I will not collect the parallel stickers. But people, they were complaining because why we have parallel stickers? It's not in it was enough on the cards. Now they are putting also on the stickers. And honestly, I try to see the silver lining on the sticker market. So if instead of spending 40, 50 or 60, 70 euros on stickers, I will spend maybe 40 euros, because I will have eventually 20 or 30 of those stickers, and I can swap this for the normal stickers. So I do believe that for every point of view, like for the the investor and also for the collector, this is great. This is great because it makes you the traditional collector makes your life easy because you'll spend less money and you can swap maybe Mbappe for 10, 15 stickers or whatever, or you can sell it. I already sold one Haaland of this for me. It was good. For I sold for €6. So because honestly, it's a parallel stickers, and I don't believe, in my opinion, that these stickers at long term will hold the value because there is nothing, let's say, extra special on the sticker. It's not rookie, it's a sticker, is it's a random season, let's say. So honestly, it's this is, let's say, like my first point of view.
I
Then
agree.
regarding match attacks, it's important so people they get like also this awareness. Okay, what yesterday I was with a friend of mine that he bought Topps match attacks. It was related to Nations League, uh, and he was in a car with, and he didn't know about the parallels and autos. He was the kid, his son was opening on the car a pack of match attacks, and he got a auto from Ansu Fati,
Oh, that's
number
amazing.
number two 299.
Yeah.
And he was like, the kid was like, I got like a card with the signature of Ansu Fati, and the father was like, what? So like,
And that's a good way to actually bring awareness, because if that happens, most likely the father will Google what's going on there, and probably even get introduced to the hobby. So
it's a great way because honestly, I think it's possible to make everyone happy. The traditional collectors, the newcomers to the hobby, that they are like maybe most focusing on parallel autos, match worn, because for me, honestly, on the stickers, I don't care about the parallel stickers. Maybe if I got a rookie sticker number to 5, maybe I will care,
that's different.
um,
Yeah.
and I will keep it. But if it's from a random player that I honestly, to me, it won't say nothing, I will try to uh, invest or to try to sell or to swap for something to my personal collection.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, you are increasing the awareness of these new products in a hobby.
No, makes sense for sure. And yeah, I agree. Basically, I also think that a good way to bring more awareness is
And
just match attacks,
and
etc.
let me just to interrupt you because I showed you before. Uh, Maybe for the US market, this sticker won't say too much because I think this variation was not released in US. They have like the
Yeah.
parallel stickers, but basically this sticker is extra sticker. There is like the Bordeaux version. There is a bronze, silver, and gold, and usually you can find on average one of these stickers per one box of 100 packs. So this is also good because many collectors are trying to complete this set. Again, for me, the only two important stickers for me will be Cristiano Gold, that unfortunately I didn't find. But these ones are sell or to swap to try to complete my collection. And I told you also before that this is the most sold, at least here in Portugal, the most sold World Cup collection since '98.
Yeah,
So
was
this
was huge.
is huge, is really really important because as I told you, when I started my channel, and it still is my focus, it's to bring the kids to the hobby, but not only bring, but for them to stay,
No,
because
of course.
because there is always this fever during the World Cups, but I want them to stay for the Portuguese league. I really like to. This is another point I now are in mind. I really like them to do another collections like Serie A, Premier League, and this brings me to another point that now on the Panini Portugal, you can buy the collections from the other countries. So this is
Okay.
important. You can buy the stickers from Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, because like this you can bring the kids, but also the kids or the teenagers, adults, and to make them stay in a hobby, not to leave because maybe They are just staying for the World Cup, Euros, and for me, my goal is to bring more people into the hobby. I know that it's my contribution. It's like a really thin slice, but if I can make 5 people to come to the hobby and to stay for me, it will be great.
No,
And
that's amazing.
sometimes I get the
I admire that.
yesterday there was like this boy was like 22, and he told me that he started from when he was 18, and he told me, because of you I'm doing Panini Premier League adrenaline. And I was like I didn't know what to say, but I said
That's great.
I'm really happy that I changed the point of view at least of one person. If you change the life of one person, you
No,
should
of
be
course.
happy.
No, I agree totally, and that's amazing that you are doing that. To be honest. So the last question is the same for everyone. Is your hot take about the hobby, unpopular opinion? Could be about the card market, could be about the soccer card market. Is up to you.
So my hot take about the hobby, and I think this is a really high risk, but I strongly believe that the soccer hobby, the market, will overtake in US the basketball, the baseball, and the other sports. I'm telling about baseball and basketball because I know they are the biggest, but I do believe that I'm not saying in 1, 2, 3, or even 5 years, but in 10 years, soccer, football will overtake the number one place because
Okay. Why?
after the I think USA is really doing great at the moment that we are recording this video at the World Cup
I
2022.
agree.
And I think that when the World Cup will come in 2026 to US, I think the market will grow a lot, and I think it won't stop because we are talking about a sport that, sorry to the Americans, is much bigger to the basketball and baseball because football is watched worldwide. Even if
Yeah.
NBA is great, and I really love to watch NBA. NBA
NBA
is like
is also huge, but
yeah,
not comparable.
definitely huge, huge. But I think football, it has so much to grow that I don't even know where it will stop because
Yeah.
I think it's really grow market.
No, I agree. Especially also we know that there is a scenario that Messi may go for the
Inter Miami.
MLS. Maybe Cristiano Ronaldo one day can also
I,
go.
I would love to see them in the MLS.
Yeah,
Really, I
and
really would love them.
this generation, this team is quite good. Honestly, I know people sometimes make jokes of the US team, but I think they have a chance to beat Holland, for example,
Yeah,
the next game. So
yeah. I
maybe the
mean,
people watching this already know the result when this. Probably
we are
that will be the case, by the way.
we are talking of a great country. They have so many people, so and they have the infrastructures. So
Yeah,
I do believe that at long term they will invest even more that they are investing now in soccer.
and
The
if you look at other sports, they can make great athletes.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
it's a
of
question.
course.
Is a question of time. On my Discord, someone ended up putting that one day there will be a Ballon d'Or for the United States of America, and I kind of agree with that. I
Yeah, why
don't
not?
know when, but makes sense that such a big country with such amazing athletes in other sports. One day there will be an amazing athlete in soccer, in football.
Yeah.
So I kind of believe, yeah. Again, will be the biggest. It's so difficult to predict, but I think your take makes sense, honestly.
So yeah, I do believe that the only thing that is let's say the missing piece, but this will come with the time. Is the history with the football, with the story, with the fans, because maybe the fans are not still like considering the soccer big. But I think when every piece of the puzzle will be together, I think soccer in USA, it has everything to be like the biggest sport, and I strongly believe that USA can achieve great things in the soccer. I'm not saying like to win the World Cup, but
Yeah.
like to achieve like the semis, even the
No,
final.
I
Come on,
agree.
uh,
I think it's
it
possible also.
They have everything. We are Portuguese. We are like a really small nation. We are 11. We produce a lot of good talents. I believe that USA has everything to do the same. Like to be
No,
like
for
one of
sure.
the most feared teams in the world.
No, I agree. And look, this generation is the best generation I remember for US. So this is
Yeah,
all
Musa, Pulisic, Reina.
yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, there is a lot of
well,
talent on the teams, honestly.
Adams.
So, Jill, this was not part of the questions, but since the World Cup is going on right now, I would love to know your thoughts. Let's start with all Netherlands versus USA. Any prediction for that game?
I think it will be a really even match because from what I watched almost of the matches so far, Netherlands for me they didn't. I mean, I'm not surprised of the quality of their match. So I think that it will be really acceptable challenge for USA, the Netherlands. So I think USA has really good chances to win against the Netherlands. Because honestly, Netherlands for me, it's Tony Gakpo, Frank de Jong, and Virgil van Dijk. I think these are the most important men of the Netherlands. The the only thing I believe that Netherlands has on their favor, it's the coach. I think Van Gaal, it's a really nice coach. He has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
The last World Cup that he was with the Netherlands, he finished at third place in the Brazil 2014, and also the team was not, let's say, great. I mean, it was, of course, it was really good because there was Roman, there was Van Persie. Uh, but if you look to the rest of the team, I mean, it was not something like
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, it was the Vrij was uh, some players that they are already they didn't have a really good career, but
I'm sorry. The thing about that team is Van Persie and Robben end up being top of the top at the
yeah,
time. There was
yeah,
Van Persie was one of the best strikers in the world, and
yeah,
Robben could be a top 5 player in the world at that time.
yeah.
So
But a part of that, I don't remember. Snyder was not at the top any was not at the
no,
top anymore.
no.
He was not at the top anymore. He was
No,
Wijnaldum was playing.
Schneider after 2010 was
Yeah.
a downtrend. I don't even remember if he make it until the World Cup. I'm not sure,
I think no. I think
but
not.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So I think USA have their chances, but they need to, let's say, to be careful because it's a really experienced coach, and I think he really can pass this kind of experience to the team.
No, I
Uh,
agree totally.
but I think USA can beat them because we
I
saw the
mean,
match against
from
England and they were great
for,
against England.
from what I saw for both teams, I was really impressed with the England versus USA game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought USA made such an amazing game.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't fair that was a draw. I thought USA was a better team by, would not say by a large margin, but they end up creating a lot of chances in the game. But and versus Iran, I versus Iran scares me a bit more because the Iran game and the Wales game was very similar in my perspective. The first
Mm-hmm.
half, US was amazing. The second, there was it was not the same thing. So, and if that happens with Holland, that could be trouble for US. But who knows? I also agree with you. I actually believe US will make it, but is probably 60% for Holland because of the history,
Me too.
of the coach, etc. So looking at the other teams, I think Brazil is doing amazing. I mean, end up
Yeah.
winning 2 games. Portugal also end up winning 2 games, but I feel like the feeling is a bit different versus the Brazil wins because we end up suffering a bit against both teams actually.
But
Um,
Brazil versus Switzerland was not easier
yeah,
for Brazil. It was a really tight match. for
The,
Brazil.
the difference between that game versus, for example, the Uruguay game for Portugal is I never felt that Brazil. I felt Brazil was in danger of a draw, but I never
Mhm.
felt was in danger of a lost. You know, I thought maybe it's a draw, but Brazil is not losing this. Portugal versus Ghana, I was like, we may lose this now at one
Oh,
point.
because against Ghana, I think there was a lack of concentration at the defense at key moments, and I think Portugal, as always against small teams, they they didn't give a lot of importance to sometimes to the teams, because
Yeah,
for me, Ghana, they have really good offensive, especially with two players, Iñaki Williams and Mohamed Kudus, that
yeah, for
plays
sure.
for Ajax. And Kudus, maybe I'm wrong, but in the future will be one of the greatest.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
I really like Mohamed Kudus, and he has like this kind of I would say cocky stuff because they ask him what is the difference between you and Neymar, and he said
Yeah, I
none.
saw
He's
that.
just he's just more famous.
More famous, yeah.
And the three is that he has already 3 goals at this
Yeah.
World Cup. I don't know what
First,
Ghana will do against Uruguay because at the moment that we are recording this video, they haven't played yet. But Kudus, I think it will be one of the greatest, at least one of the greatest African players
the game versus
ever.
Uruguay, for some reason, I feel Uruguay is going to win. I don't know.
Um,
I think Ghana
I,
probably
I,
performs better, but experience is so huge in this type of stuff.
the game against Uruguay, I'm telling you, Portugal against Uruguay, I never felt I had like a completely opposite of yours. I never felt that the game with Uruguay was in danger. Um,
Ooh, I think
I
when we are winning 1-0, there
no,
was a
I
couple of
didn't. The
no.
only moment I got scared was when Bentancur he just dribbled Ruben Diaz and Diogo Costa made a huge defense, and the score was still 0-0. But after that, I think Portugal had the game under control, and I think Portugal, maybe I'm wrong, but will at least achieve the semis at this World Cup.
No, but like, I mean,
I think it's a really intelligent team. Against Korea, they will rotate a bit the team. I think the level will still be great, but of course, Portugal needs to face this match like any other match. Because I think Portugal um, as a really even team, because you will replace players like Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha. Vitinha for me is a great player. Um, André Silva still is a goal scorer, not like Portugal actually doesn't have like great strikers. In my Cristiano is in a descending phase. For example, if you ask me Cristiano or Haaland, I will go with Haaland, of
I
course.
mean nowadays is
Yeah,
yeah.
but at the like that's at the top right now, Portugal doesn't have like a striker, but at the midfield and the defense, I think Portugal is one of the strongest. Bernardo, Bruno, Vitinha. Uh,
I agree
People
with that.
maybe don't recognize, but for me, William, it's a great player. I really like William. Palhinha, it destroys the midfield, the opposite midfield of any other team. I can
It's
say here that he has
one of the best defensive midfielders in Premier
yeah,
League, honestly. So,
he has the record of the most tackles this Premier League against Arsenal, 9 tackles.
yeah,
Defense, we have Ruben Dias. Uh, Pep, even at a 39, we saw
still a
against
machine.
Uruguay. He lost a bit of his pace, but anticipation is, I think, is still one of the greats. I'm really sad that Nuno Mendes is out
Oh yeah,
because Nuno Mendes, for me, top 3 left backs right now. And João Cancelo, for me, top right back, but at his World Cup, I still think he's not at his level. It looks like he's not focused, making a few mistakes against Ghana. He made one huge mistake that led to the 3-2. And Diogo Costa, at his age, I don't remember any Portuguese goalkeeper at 22 with this quality.
no, it's very good. Yeah, I agree. Do
And
you think do you think Cristiano Ronaldo should play in the starting 11? Because I'm start seeing a lot of debate about that actually.
Again, but you mean against Korea, or
No,
let's
in
say,
general, in general.
depends of the match. It really depends of the match.
Because nowadays I'm not sure. I love Ronaldo, but maybe this is controversial. But Ronaldo is not the same player anymore. I
No,
mean,
he's not.
it's very evident that if you see Ronaldo makes zero connection with the team, he's just waiting the ball. But it's difficult for me to see because Ronaldo is one of the best ever. But this, I start feeling that if we have an attack with Rafael Leão, Felix, and Bernardo, probably will be stronger. I have this feeling. And the first game of the tournament, I was like, no way, Ronaldo needs to play. No, I'm not sure because I feel like he's been a bit underwhelming. And I mean, if you look at his last 6 months, it is what it is.
I mean that's it. Maybe his lack of let's say importance on the team is also for the lack of time at the last 6 months at Manchester United.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Portugal made like a test against Nigeria prior to the World Cup, and it really worked. Portugal beat 4-0. Of course, it was in the context of a friendly match. Nigeria is not in the World Cup, so maybe the players were not giving like 100%. But you could see that there was a connection between the players. And the thing is that, are we going to make testing the 11s at the World Cup? I think the testing the main 11, the starting 11, should be before, not
and by the way,
World Cup.
I'm saying this, but I still want Ronaldo to be on the 11, but trying to take my bias, look outside,
No, I agree with you.
Because I was watching the game versus both teams, and I know he got the penalty, etc. But what Ronaldo produces is very little, honestly. It's just my opinion. I mean, I even believe Felix alone becomes stronger because right now it's like Felix needs to play for Ronaldo. Rafael Leão is flying, so I can see a younger team, of course, but also more active on front, more quality.
How should I say? Like a quicker team. They move much more when they play with another striker than Ronaldo.
And I also feel that players like Bernardo and Felix, they can shine more when there is a connection. When there is a connection around the team. And Cristiano Ronaldo is not there for them, in the sense that Cristiano Ronaldo cannot. For example, we cannot make this, but I think Messi will be very good Messi will be good in any team, but in our team, I think will be perfect with Bernard, Felix, because they have that game that is a short pass, but a lot of quality. I think Ronaldo is, again, at his prime, does not matter where Ronaldo plays. Ronaldo is one of the best ever. But right now, I mean, I feel like there is a lot of people in the denial phase, that we are not accepting, but it is what it is.
But for me, Ronaldo could be like this super sub. Like come like at the 60 minutes of the match, if the match is a bit, let's say, hard, tight.
Especially because when that happens, Portugal tries to put the ball in the air, very long balls. Exactly. Ronaldo for that is still amazing, but our idea of game right now seems like a more thinking the game. And but to be fair, Ronaldo never worked that well. Even at Real Madrid, that team was not thinking the game, was more transitions very fast, and Ronaldo had such strong speed. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but talking about another great team at the World Cup, what do you think about Argentina?
I think Argentina together with Brazil, but I think Argentina a bit above Brazil, I think is the biggest contender to win the World Cup. Okay. Even despite of the defeat against Saudi Arabia, I think after that match, because it's a really short competition, and for me, after Saudi Arabia, I could see like a really focused team, like a pressing team, Messi. You have the likes of Messi, Lautaro, Enzo Fernandez. That is not because he plays for Benfica, but I think he could be one of the
amazing player.
like one of the good, even great midfielders from the next generation. The defense, you have Otamendi, that despite of his age is still like doing great. Lisandro Martinez.
No, they have a great team. Acuna also playing well.
Acuna, Montiel, Molina. For me, they really have a great team, and Messi leading this team. I could see like the team is really together. After this defeat against Saudi Arabia, you could see that Argentina is like in this World Cup to really to win, and I think they are the biggest contender to win this World Cup.
Okay, at the time was shocking that result, of course, versus Saudi Arabia. But now looking back, I think that was kind of good in the sense that what don't kill us make us stronger, right? So, and I feel like the team end up going, you know what, we really need to play better, and I think they have that advantage now going to the final phase of the World Cup. And apart from that, they have nothing is easy at the World Cup level, of course, but they have an easy path because they have Australia. Again, all the respect for Australia, but I don't think they can win against Argentina. But again, I did not.
Never know.
You never know, of course. Then potentially they have USA or Netherlands. I also think they will be favored, no matter the team that wins there. They after that is probably Brazil, right? I could be wrong, but I believe they are in the same bracket as Brazil. So that game is a different story. That Brazil could be even favored, but at least to go to the semifinals, they have not easy, but it's very easy to imagine them getting there.
One of them in the final, Brazil or Argentina.
Yeah, and I was very happy with the team in the last game because the coach ended up changing a lot of players. Ended up putting Lautaro Martinez on the bench and putting Alvarez on the front. I love that. I think again, I probably your take. I think Lautaro Martinez is a bit overrated. I mean, at Inter, at Inter for me does not mean a lot. Even Lukaku had a great season at Inter. Lautaro Martinez. If Haaland was not this monster, Lautaro Martinez was playing in the first 11 of City, and I think that guy is also really special. They also end up putting, I believe, Mark Allister, the Argentine
from Brighton.
From Brighton, I like that because is not. I did not like the first 11 they end up going for Saudi Arabia because they have De Paul and Paredes. These two guys, they don't construct any type of game. They just destroy game. And the team was lacking that defense to attack. There was no middle there. It was basically defense and attack. So my perspective about this at the time, I thought they need to put Messi on the midfield probably because Messi can also play very well there. But now I even like this idea more. They put Alistair as the guy that thinks the game. They have Messi more at front with Alvarez. So I think the team ended up finding and also Fernandez have a different quality than Paredes for me. So
Fernandez is like a box to box.
Yeah, I really think they are into something right now. But that's why I was saying. Imagine if they win the first game. Let's say they get a draw versus Mexico and another draw versus Poland. They probably face a stronger team and they are out. Right now, I feel like they have a better chance because they end up tasting defeat. They know what they need to or at least they potentially think they know what they need to do now.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Well, let's finish this with a prediction. I guess you already shared who thinks will win the World Cup. But let's do a different one. Top goal scorer at the World Cup.
Mbappe.
I'm going with Messi. I think Messi still has time to score a couple, but Mbappe is a great choice. Not going to lie.
I think Mbappe. I think France they also can reach the final. They are, despite of all of the absence they have in their team, they are still great. And also despite of the defeat against Tunisia. but they will face now. France is against. No,
Good question. I don't remember.
let me check.
I actually don't remember who
I
is going to play against France.
Poland, France, Poland.
Ah, that's easy for them.
Yeah, unless Poland will play a completely different style, but this defensive style. But I don't believe. I think France will win, and then they will face either England or Senegal. I believe England.
England.
That
Yeah.
will be a really tight match, and but France, I think, is favorite against England. Even if England, I think this is the true golden generation because after the third place in the World Cup, they were finalists at Euros. It's not really easy to predict who's going to reach the final because I think one thing we have seen at this World Cup, despite all of the criticism, I think we have seen the players at a different level that from the other World Cups, and this is due to the fact that the World Cup is at the middle of the regular season. So you have seen great match, and I think it's really unpredictable who's going to win. But I do believe that France and Mbappe will reach at least the semis.
No,
Because
I agree.
Then they will face.
I actually think that they could be the team that put Portugal away. Because
let's see.
Yeah, but yeah, I believe the winner of the World Cup is also in the other side. For me, it's between Brazil and Argentina. But again, this is so difficult to predict.
Yeah.
I was watching the France game versus Tunisia. Man, Mbappe is a demon. I mean, that guy when he's on, it's just impossible to stop. So
he's great. Great player.
So for sure. Jill, thank you so much for this conversation. I really enjoyed.
I appreciate it.
Any final words for my viewers?
Well, I don't know what to say. No, I mean, do not sleep on Portuguese market because I think that every year there is some raw talent coming out of Portuguese National League. Maybe Fanatics will create, let's say,
a product
for the Portuguese league, and maybe we'll have the next Cristiano. That is really hard to happen. But as I said, really raw talent coming every year at the Portuguese National League.
No, for sure. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.